So, what if you could use AI for something more than just answers? What if you could use it to find clarity? In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful way to shift your thinking to turn AI into a genuine partner that helps you think and make decisions better. I want to start with a big question for you. What if the most powerful thing an AI can do isn't about finding an answer for you, but about helping you find your own? I mean, really think about that for a second. That one little shift could completely change how you use these tools. Right now, most of us treat AI like a supercharged search engine. We ask it a question, we get an answer, we close the tab. And look, that's fine. It's super useful for that. But that's just a tiny, tiny fraction of what's actually possible. The real unlock, the real game changer, is something much, much deeper. And that brings us right to the core idea of this whole explainer. It's what we're calling the thinking partner shift. It's all about moving away from seeing AI as some kind of answer machine and starting to see it as a tool for getting to a place of clarity. So let's kind of break down these two mindsets. The old way, it's a transaction, right? You ask a question, you get an answer. It's a one and done kind of thing. But the thinking partner way, well, it's a conversation. You share a situation, you explore it together, you start digging deeper. It's a real dialogue, not just a search query. Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world? It's one thing to talk about it abstractly, but let's get concrete with a very real and honestly a very emotional example. We're going to walk through how you could use this method to think through a genuinely hard decision. I want you to picture this. And it's a situation that so many of us will face if we haven't already. Your dad is 84. He's still sharp, he's still him, but he's been falling more often. He lives 2 hours away, and you are just bone tired from the constant driving back and forth. You feel completely torn between moving him in with you, hiring help, or looking at assisted living. You've just been going in circles for weeks and getting nowhere. So instead of going to the AI and asking, what should I do about my dad? You start completely differently. You open a chat and you lay out the situation just like this and pay attention to that last line. Help me see it more clearly. See? You're not asking for the answer. You're asking for help to think. This is the whole pivot right here. And this is where the magic happens. The AI doesn't give you a solution. Instead, it starts acting like a guide. It asks things like, okay, what have you already tried? It reflects back those unspoken fears you have, like the one about your marriage. And then it hits you with a crucial question. What does your dad actually want? It even offers to play devil's advocate for you. It's not giving you answers. It's helping you untangle your own thoughts. And after maybe 30 minutes of this, here's where you land. You haven't been handed some magic answer on a silver platter. You still have to make the hard call. But for the first time in weeks, maybe even months, you can actually see the shape of the problem clearly. You know what you really value. You know the next questions to ask. And you finally understand your own fears. That's not an answer. That right there is clarity. Now that elder care scenario is just so powerful, right? But this method is like a whole toolkit. It's super versatile. So let's quickly explore 5 different ways you can use an AI to think out loud. We just saw a perfect example of number 1, working through a difficult decision. But you can also use it to stress test a plan you already have. You can literally ask the AI to poke holes in it to find all the weaknesses. Or you can use it to rehearse for a hard conversation, or just to brainstorm ideas in a totally judgment-free zone. It's an incredibly flexible way to think. Okay, now, before we go any further, I need to pause here for a second because this is incredibly important. This is not therapy, and it is absolutely not a substitute for one. For anything that feels heavy or that's just been sticking with you for a while, the right call, the only call, is to reach out to a real counselor or a trusted person in your life. An AI can be a tool to help you think, but it can never ever replace real human connection and professional support. So how do you actually kick off one of these conversations? Well, here are some fantastic starters. Instead of a question, try beginning with, okay, here's what I'm actually dealing with. Or just ask it straight up. Play devil's advocate for me. A personal favorite of mine is summarize what you're hearing from me. It is an amazing way to see if your own thinking is even coming across clearly. So here's the bottom line. Making that shift from asking questions to thinking out loud, it's probably the single biggest upgrade you can make in how you use these tools. And it's one most people just never make. I really, really encourage you to try it. Take a real situation that's on your mind right now, something you've been kicking around in your head, and just talk it through. See what happens. Because when it all comes down to it, it's really this simple. The best conversations, the most productive ones, the ones that lead to real breakthroughs, whether you're having them with another person or with an AI, they don't start with a question. They start with a situation.